Good morning, Scott Dotson here. I want to do my daily reading. Um, Lighting's not real good, too real good. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, decks been on my mind. There's a couple decks. Sometimes they'll kind of call to me, kind of on my mind um, when I want to do readings and stuff. And this one here is, I really like this deck. A lot of people don't like darker decks, but I love this one. This is actually the Dark Grimoire, Lascarbio deck. I got it for Christmas here, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. Anyway, the reason I like this deck is it is a Rider Weight type deck. Now, actually, the Strength card and the Justice card, the 8 and 11 card, they are switched up in this deck, which is perfectly fine. This deck seems to read real well for me. Let me see. Now, the back of it is, I think, kind of designed for all upright. I use reversal, so I really don't care what the back of it is. But, kind of a lot of dark stuff in there, but I see a lot of the light and the story that these cards tell with me are a lot. I really enjoy the pictures on them because of the fact that it is completely different for me. I see a lot of different things. I've had some really good readings with this deck. It's been a while since I've used this. First time it's been sitting in one of my boxes for a while, so I want to go ahead and use this one for my daily and see how things come out with this one for the day. So I haven't shuffled yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get my shuffle in and see what this deck has to say to me. Different decks will speak differently to you. Definitely like to shuffle my decks up really well, especially ones I haven't used in a while. And I'm feeling it very, very strong right there. So I'm feeling something very, very strong. So see what I get here. I was just looking at this, and this is funny because this card, a lot of times I'll go through the deck with a card that I haven't seen in a while. Um, oh, this is looking really good. With the exception of one, because it gives me a different view of how these cards look. But I have, first of all, the Fool card. Now, this one's a little different than most decks. Most decks, the Fool is usually about freedom and being able to get up and go. A lot of childlike. There can be a connection with the child, definitely. I've definitely had readings where there's a connection with the child with this one. But this one here's a little different. He's wrapped up in a straight jacket there, sitting there. And that's why I like this deck, is because it definitely does give me um, different types of readings here with this one. Love this card too. Now, this one came up reversed for me. Okay, you see that? That's the Eight of Swords with this deck. So it came up reversed, and coming up reversed is really, really good. And that's my central card for the day. So, and I do have a Major Arcana card, so that's good. Another great card is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups. Great emotional card to have right there, and it is upright for me. Now, um, this Fool card, what seems to be coming to me is innocence. Um, Even though the guy is wrapped up in bondage, and this card, like I said, is normally about freedom, being very, very free. And I like it. Different decks, especially some are, it's always good to really look at the cards because you'll get a lot of information out of that. Simply instead of just going with just the meanings of the cards, if you really sit down and look at your cards and allow your intuition basically to flow, you'll get a lot better readings out of it. And of course, they're normally always going to be in connection with the meanings that you set for the cards or that you have personally for the cards, but it's not always the case. So always take a strong look at your cards and see what those cards are saying to you. And this deck seems to be very, very powerful with me. I feel it very, very strongly because the images are so different than what's in other decks, and the story that it goes along. And I've got a man that's standing out. This could be a child right there. The man in the back behind his shoulder right here seems to be standing out, like somebody looking at me. And of course he is bald, so it could be. Yeah, I know. I keep leaning over here because I'm staring at the card here, trying to get some more. And then I have somebody else who's smiling, so that's a very good, and it's a happy, jovial type smiling feeling. But this card, again, like I said, there's some kind of innocence. There's it's normally about a new beginning, and I'm gonna basically kind of say where this guy, even though maybe he's been strapped down, wrapped up in the past, it's time for something new. Time for him to be able to break free and let go. And there's others looking around. Maybe it's basically like he's got a light over his head too, so he's seeing things a little differently, seeing kind of enlightenment, which this card is a lot about that childhood innocence and seeing things, just a freedom type energy that's going on there. But he seems to be in the light. He seems to be the center of attention here because there's other uh, creatures and people and so forth that is around him. So maybe things they're looking at him a little strange. Because maybe he's not going along with the crowd or whatever, but even though he's sitting there wrapped up, I think it's more he's got more mental freedom because the light is shining on his head here, and I think that gives him more. He is more mentally clear and mentally free, even though he's got that straight jacket on. I think in his mind he's free to go and do anything he wants to do, even though the others may see him as being a fool and so forth. This man seems to have that total freedom, and that um, he seems to be completely calm with all the stuff that's going on around him. So I'm going to say a lot of this is going to have to be that mental freedom, and then like I said, there's others looking at him. Uh, One's kind of happy, but they're also it's kind of they're making fun of him or whatever. But it seems to me more that this one here is that openness of mind, that enlightenment. He has that enlightenment and sees things basically through a child's eyes. You think of a child. Um, uh, Throughout their life, they're told what you can do, what you can't do, and so forth, and that's how we, as we get older, we think about things that we are able to do and things we're not able to do. It's because we've been trained to do that, and this guy's not like that. He's got an open mind. I'm free. I can go anywhere. I can do anything I want. You can't stop me because it's all my mind. So that's what I'm getting really, really strong with this one. I love this card here because this card, of course, you can see about being trapped, and it come up reversed for me. And the central card there is that feeling of being trapped. Um, but when it comes up reversed, it's about freedom. There's some kind of freedom that's getting ready to open up. No longer being trapped, being able to get out, not having your mind worry, and especially sitting beside that Fool card and that light shining on his head. And this is a Swords card, so that would be a lot about your mind. Feeling mentally trapped. Uh, and this one here with it reversed is going to basically tell me that basically you've released fears and so forth have been let go. You've opened your eyes and you're able to get up and go. You're free to get up and move. You're no longer held down by something bigger, something maybe ego or something. The worries and fears, things that you seen were very, very big that held you down. In this card here, coming up reversed, seems to be more of what's going on is I also kind of see her as if she's looking away from it instead of looking at it. So no longer looking at that and having that freedom again, instead of feeling mentally trapped with different things that's going on with her. Okay, my final card here, and this is a beautiful card to get. Now, this is a Ten of Cups, and this is an emotional card. And you see she's flying there, she's freedom. So this is going to be a freedom of emotions, feeling very, very free, feeling very, very comfort at home. Um, she seems to be she's flying towards the sun, the light, and there's clouds around her, but those clouds are clear and they're opening up in a path and there's also a river down below her. And the river, of course, is always going to be emotion. And she's going along this path that seems to be clear. It's like her hands as she's flying along is opening things up for her. So this is going to be a very, very clear. Uh, this is always an emotional card, and a card that seems to be a lot, like I said, a lot about. A lot of times you'll get a happy family situation that goes on with this card. It seems to be, I think, uh, with emotion, personal relationships. You're feeling happy. You're feeling a lot of harmony that goes on with this. So, and being a number 10, this is the lasting happiness that goes on. So, yeah, I think a lot of this today is going to be getting over some kind of fear, kind of taking a leap, basically. This is like a leap into the unknown, also, and it being a major arcana, with the way this deck works and the way everything goes is it goes like if you've studied Druidism or any pagan works and stuff like that, you'll understand that the underworld and the out, um, that type of scenario that's going on. This deck is basically built upon what goes on in the underworld, and I think maybe that's what it is. Maybe that trapped feeling or whatever. Maybe he's seeing the light, and he's going to take that journey um, to go and get things, and he's feeling very, very comfortable, very, very happy at home. There's no fear there that's going on, or the fears that have maybe worried before. That he's released those fears. So that's going to be my tarot reading for today, and I got a baby who I hear him. I'm going to have to feed him real soon, and he's starting to wake up. I'll be back. I want to do my Lenormand. I thank you for watching, and I'll be back. Also, Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook on my Hermit's Vision page, HermitsVision, and on Twitter at dscottdodson. That's DODSON. Thank you for watching.